Alright, welcome back. I hope you guys had a nice long weekend. This chapter is all about transformations, okay? Now, transformations include translations, reflections, rotations, all these different fun words, okay? So, the first one we're actually going to learn about today is translations, okay? So, our warm-up is, I just want you to think, what is a reflection? And maybe it's not the math term for reflection, but that's okay, just to kind of get your brain going on what that means, okay? And remember, this is still our geometry chapter, so this is going to come up again when you are in 10th grade, okay? So again, this is what that sentence was saying. Excuse me. This chapter is about transformations. Today we're going to do translations, and this is moving a point, or shape, depending, vertical or horizontal. Remember, vertical is up and down, horizontal is left and right. Okay, so let's pretend we sectioned off our classroom into a grid, and you have to move your chair from one point to another using translation. So maybe if I start, so here's my chair, is this dot here, okay? So if I put a grid over our classroom, this is what it would be. And if I told you the first thing to do would be move up 3 rows, where would our new seat be? Well, it would be up 1, 2, 3, right? Just 3 areas. So A would be our new desk point, right? Or I could tell you to move 3 rows to the left. Okay, make sure we're actually moving this. So 1, 2, 3, right? So this would be 3 rows, or columns, I guess, to the left. So I can move it up and down, I can move it left to right, positive, negative, any of those ways, okay? But I'm not moving diagonal, okay? So just up and down, left and right. Straight lines, okay? So now sometimes they'll give you the 2 points like this next question. And what is the translation between these 2 points, right? Remember, I can't move diagonally. So this is kind of like finding the slope, but not exactly. So I'm moving over 1, 2 rows, right? To the right. So 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 rows down, right? Remember, I can only move left and right, up and down, but I can move them in one motion, okay? To the right, 3 down. So that can happen, okay? So if they ask you what is the translation between 2 points, you just have to tell me what happened to the 2 points. And I could have gone from this point to this point and said I went up 3 rows and to the left 2 rows. That would also work, okay? So it depends just on which one you start with. All right, go ahead and pause it if you need to. I'm going to keep going here. Again, what is the translation between these points? And this point is actually, should be down here. I'm not sure what happened with my computer there. But I would say we'll start at this bottom one instead. I'm going up 2 rows. So up 2 or 2 up, I don't care how you write it. And 1 over, right? And it's 1 to the left. So left 1. So you can either write the number first or the direction first. It doesn't really matter. Okay? All right. So that's if you were given the 2 points. Now the next question says Lindsay is starting her walk, that should have a her in there, at point A, which is at 2, 3. Okay? And wants to walk 3 units to the left and 2 units down. Mark this position on the graph. Well, first off, I'll fix this on yours before you go. This point should be at 2 up 3. So this is where Lindsay's actually starting, okay? And they want to know where she's going, okay? So they want her to move 3 units to the left and 2 units down. So 3 units to the left would be 1, 2, 3, right? And 2 units down would be 1, 2. So her new spot is right here. Okay. Now again, you don't actually have to draw the bumps. If you don't want to, you can just count over. Okay. So hopefully this isn't too hard. It's not getting too scary or anything. You're just moving some stuff around. Okay. Now I can actually translate more than just points. Okay. So I'm going to draw a line on my graph here connecting my 2 points. And I'm going to move that whole line. Okay. So you can actually move lines, shapes, anything using translations, okay? So it says translate this line 2 units down and 3 to the right. Now, we know how to translate a point, right? So I'm just going to translate both points. So down 2 units, so 1, 2, to the right 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So this is this point, right? I just move that guy. Now what I could do is, I know this is a straight line, so I could just count 1, 2, 3 and draw my next point right here. But I could also say, okay, I'm going to move it 2 down, 1, 2, to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's my point, right? So that point goes to this point. So my new line is here. Now when you see this on your paper today, in your homework, they'll call the first point A and B. Well, where you move the new point, they'll call that A prime. And it looks like this. It just has a little like apostrophe above it. And you pronounce that A prime, okay? So B starts here, so the new B is called B prime. And again, it just looks like this, B prime. Okay, it's just whatever letter you had originally, you just add that apostrophe to it, okay? So that's kind of how they talk about it. So translations will keep the lengths and shapes the same. Notice how this line is the same length as this line. It's the same type of shape, okay? The only thing that changes is where the object is on the graph. So I just moved this guy. I just literally lifted it up and took it over here. Okay. So your exit slip is back to what we were doing just a few minutes ago. What is the translation between these 2 points? Okay. Now your homework is page 59, number 1 through 4, and number 6. Now I encourage you, if you finish this, let's get ahead a little bit, okay? Go ahead and try the next video and go from there. Because that's not a whole lot of problems, and I think you guys are going to get it very quickly. Okay. So feel free to ask me any questions that you have, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.